So what happens when you stop marketing your music? People are always wondering about how to market their music, what to use, whether it's paid playlists, whether it's Facebook or Meta ads, or using a platform like Hyped to really promote your music. But the reality is your budget's going to dry up at some stage. Throughout 2025, I marketed 2 of my songs. These songs were Everything and Rivers Part 2. I'm going to now go through my Spotify and Apple Music results to show you what happens when you stop marketing your music, because a question might be, well, do your plays return back to what they were pre-marketing or post-marketing? Do you still see some increase? So let's take a look at my Spotify here now. You can see a great 0 people are listening right now. Sometimes I go on and there's 1 or 2 and I'm like, yes, whoever you are, I want to know. But anyway, monthly listeners, I'm just going to click over here and I'm going to set to 12 months. Don't worry about all of this. Spotify artist page have updated this recently, so there's loads of different numbers that you can assess and analyze, but I'm just going to go straight down to this graph down here. First of all, these spikes are unfortunately bot playlists. Thankfully, it only happened twice, but for new emerging artists, when you see that massive anomaly and it spikes straight back down, the unfortunate thing is, yes, that is a bot or a fake playlist that you've been added to. That's not what I'm here to talk about. Throughout all of 2025, you can see that my streams were pretty consistent. Sorry, these are my listeners. Let's go to streams. That my streams were pretty consistent. There were some nice little spikes there. That would have been natural. Overall, we can see numbers here of what, 70, 80, 90, 100, 70, 90, let's say an average of about 70-ish a day, give or take. It starts to drop down a bit there. I might have stopped marketing everything and just gone to Rivers Part 2. In fact, I did do that. This might have been 2 songs marketing and then gone down to 1. The big shift that I'm wanting us to look at is right over here when we get to January the 1st. So throughout December, I was marketing, and by the way, I was spending 10 New Zealand dollars a day. It's a lot of money, but in terms of marketing, that's actually the bare minimum. In fact, you should probably be doing about 10 US dollars a day, which would push me up to about 15 New Zealand, but I just couldn't justify that. This was an experiment throughout 2025. As we went into January, you can see that my streams have been dropping. Now that's normal. But I'm still going on an average, I'd say, look, 20, 30, 24, 19, an average of about 20 a day. They are starting to drop off a little bit more now. Bearing in mind, I haven't released any new music, so this is returning and some new listeners. If I actually go to listeners, you can see that I was averaging of about, say, 40 or 50 throughout this period, dropping down to maybe 30, 25, say, on average. Now we're in January and we can still see that I am getting about, say, an average of maybe 15 to 20 listeners a day, which is amazing. By the way, if you are listening to my music, thank you so much. That's incredible. I really hope you're enjoying it, and I've got more to come in the future. But so that's my Spotify results. To summarize, what happens when you stop marketing your music? I have not fallen back to pre-marketing numbers. I have still gained some of this momentum and I have kept it. The interesting part is when I go over to Apple Music. Let's have a look at my homepage on Apple Music. So this is 2026. I'm just going to do this by year. I have 1.8k plays, an average of 17 listeners per day for Apple. If I go back to 2025, this was a massive year for me for Apple Music. I had huge numbers for me, for Apple, and let me just quickly compare to 2024 when I had not marketed a single song. I only had 326 plays on Apple. 2023 it'll be about the same, even less probably. Well, a bit more, 429. So no marketing, and then marketing. This was again $10 a day. So I spent a lot of money, thousands in a year on marketing. In fact, it would have been more than $3,650 because there were a few times when I was marketing 2 songs at once. So look, this wasn't cheap. I'm not going to go into the overall sort of finance breakdown, but I will do that in another video to see if this was worth it monetarily, if I had a financial break-even point. I think you probably know the answer to that one, but I'll come to that in another video. Anyway, 14k plays. I'm already at 1.8k plays this year, and remember, 2026, there has been no paid marketing so far. Again, no marketing 2024, paid marketing. I can already see that I have, 3-4 times my 2024 numbers in 2026, simply by not marketing my music, but aggressively marketing to my level anyway in 2024. If we go down, this is another important thing. Let's look, this is 2026 still, isn't it? Yep. Let's look at 2026, and what can we see? Well, Rivers Part 2 and Everything are my top songs. Now that's really good, because they're the ones I marketed. But look, Dissimulation is my number 3 song. I've never marketed that song. We Are The Ones did have a little push at one stage, but this is awesome to hear that Dissimulation, that means people are listening to my songs, going to my album Time to Rise and listening to it. So that's really cool. Let's go back to Spotify and see what songs are getting the most played. So if we go to view songs, we can see over the last 28 days, so we know for this month, Everything and Rivers Part 2 are number 1 and 2. I'm getting more plays on those 2 songs this year when I am not marketing than I was in previous years. This would be from people adding my songs to their personal playlists, from adding them just into their, their profiles. In fact, I'm not really sure what it does. Adding it to, really, it's now in their profile and they're listening to it. But other songs we can see are still getting some love. Other songs from my first album, Time, are not really getting anything at all. So what this shows me is that my album Time to Rise is getting some plays here, but overall Time is not getting much love. But some songs like Madness, Lies Blind the Mind, Rivers, people like those songs. We Are The Ones, and they're still, Never Look Back, look, that's still from Time. Anyway, to summarize, what happens is that if you market your songs for a year, you're going to have to spend a lot of money on it. And I have seen that I am still getting a knock-on effect from marketing throughout 2025. So, peace and love everyone, I hope you enjoyed. I am going to start a new marketing campaign next month, and I'm going to target a different couple of songs and see how they perform. I'm not sure if I'll do it for the whole year just due to financial constraints. But let me know what you'd like to hear next. Please let me know if you've got any questions. I'm going to break down the finances in the next video so you can see how much I spent to how much I got back from marketing my music using a $10 a day model. Keep rocking.